Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Friday, June 21st, 2024. Post-market wrap-up here. Bear with me. We got a lot to cover. There is so much going on and rumors of things. I talk to everybody. You all know that. And I believe that what we're going to cover here is going to really ring true to at least most of you who understand what's happening. The current crisis we are in. We heard from Jamie Dimon today. You know, our lovely CEO of the Wall Street Superbank, J.P. Morgan. He's got something to say. It's pretty obvious, but we'll talk about that too. The aftermath, where this is going, this apparent development, and a lot of people are looking forward to this. A tax-free system for some, but it comes with a big, fat, ugly catch to it. And I think a lot of people are going to jump on it. But we'll talk more about that as we move forward. So let's just start off with the basics here. I know commodities are getting hit. I know cryptos are getting hit, but this should not surprise you. I covered in a series of videos just over the last several weeks how we would see this shift here. The game is remaining risk on. The cash must come from somewhere. Okay. Does this make sense to you? Just think about what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, let me just so you know, I'm not making this stuff up here. This is Market Watch today. So apparently investors are pouring a record amount of cash into tech. Imagine my shock. What have I been telling you for I don't know how freaking long? Tech is the place to be along with commodities. Okay. Commodities are on sale. Now we'll talk more about this, but the current environment is very, very simple to understand. The fact of the matter is that central banks around the world, I'm going to talk other stuff, are buying more and more debt. Mitch knows what I'm talking about. This is keeping rates suppressed. This mechanism of keeping rates suppressed, first of all, it's massively inflationary. Maybe we'll cover that real quick while we're at it here. We've been hearing, you and me, the garbage, the nonsense, about how the Fed is in an inflation fight. They're fighting inflation. Central banks around the world fighting inflation. Now, how they've been doing this, or what's been sold to you and me, is let's just talk about the Fed here, but this is every single central bank. What they've been doing is incrementally, raising rates, raising the overnight rate. And a miracle was going to happen eventually because it was temporary and transitory. And eventually we were going to see prices drop. That's not the case. Now, the mainstream media is continuing to push the narrative. Again, this is a selection cycle, presidential selection cycle. They gotta blow sunshine straight up the crack of everybody here. Okay, inflation is coming down, which is not. I proved this to you, and you can prove it yourself. I showed you a chart. Consumer prices continue to skyrocket. Okay. So this fairy tale that was sold to all of us, and you and I knew it was a lie from day one. We were laughing. Go back to the video when we were sold the lie of how incrementally raising the federal funds rate or the overnight rate was eventually miraculously going to cause inflation to fall. Now, look, this video is going to be seen by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Out of those thousands and thousands and thousands of people, there's going to be a few economists that are going to follow this. I know they follow this blog. Some of them I know personally. Tell me if I got this wrong. Okay. So if we realize that the situation is, again, central banks continue to inflate, the mechanism here with central banks keeping rates suppressed requires, what does it require? They have to create cash out of nothing and buy the debt. It's a revolving door. This revolving door is massively inflationary. Okay. We know that. You're not supposed to know that. You're not going to hear what I'm about to tell you. I've discussed before anywhere on the mainstream media or from a politician, no one running for president is going to tell you this. They could stop inflation in its tracks. Do you realize what I'm saying? You see, you're not supposed to know this secret. I've told you before what they can do, and most of you probably know if you follow this blog. This is a money supply issue. Again, Economics 101. You got a central bank, any one of them creating, the Fed here, creating cash out of thin air, inflating the money supply. What happens? All of these extra bills, or whatever form they exist, start to chase the same, or in this case, a lesser amount of goods. All right? Economics 101. Sound familiar to you guys and girls out here? Okay. So we have a situation here where central banks continue to inflate. This revolving door of debt, issuing debt, buying it back to another door, inflationary. The Federal Reserve alone ballooning the money supply. It's gone up over $1 trillion in just the last 6 months, the money supply here. We're inflating the debt $1 trillion every few months, although that's accelerated. And just got a warning again from Jamie Dimon, our lovely friend. We'll talk about that. Michael may know what I'm talking about, but thanks a lot. We're going to talk more about this. I appreciate it. So how would a central bank, if we understand, okay, can I get a couple of here, that it's a money supply issue? Meanwhile, central banks continue to inflate. If they really wanted to stop inflation in their tracks, what could they do? They could contract the money supply. That would, of course, increase purchasing power of the currency. And of course, that would reverse inflation, stop it in its tracks. But have you heard that from a single Fed president? You think you would hear that from a Fed president? The Fed chairperson, Janet Yellen, who just said the debt was sustainable? How about no? No one's going to tell you that. No one running for president is going to tell you that. But of course, they're going to tell you that the dollar needs to be devalued and Bitcoin. We got to talk more about Bitcoin. And if President Trump is selected, what we can expect to happen to Bitcoin. I got a big, fat surprise for you. Anyway, so right now, for all of you who may not understand, again, cash is coming out of places it should be going into and vice versa, meaning by central banks here, and this is the Fed, this is going to continue this trend, at least in my view, for a while, buying more debt. As a matter of fact, let me just show you something here real quick. I have so much stuff, like I said. I want to just, here. It's just Reuters. German government bond yields fall. On weak survey data, no, it's because the ECB is buying all the debt. Duh. I think we're pretty clear on that. You understand? Fed's doing the same thing, and that's what's driving this lower. That's creating the risk-on environment. So cash is coming out of commodities, puts them on sale, and cryptocurrencies because it's where it's going. Okay, these are buying opportunities. I don't know where to put this. If you realize, okay, the mechanism, how it works, how cash moves through these twisted markets, and how it's forced to move that way because of central banks buying all the debt, opening that doorway for cash to make its way into risk assets, stocks. Okay, you can see where this is going. It should be very obvious, honestly, and investors pouring their cash into tech because they're why is this going on? Not only because of this, okay, as you well know, this mechanism here, okay, but because the market realizes that that's going to continue. Artificially suppressed rates are going to drive tech higher. Beware the hype, beware the AI hype. You know all that, period, the end. But tech, absolutely. We need to stay long this market. You already know, all of you. I've been telling you, if I don't know how freaking long. What is Greg Mannarino doing? Greg Mannarino is building a larger and larger position in JEPQ. I have JEPI, a whole lot of it. I haven't added to that in a while. JEPQ pays a nice dividend, gives you exposure to tech, okay? I'm not saying you should do a damn thing without doing your own research. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, all right? On top of betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, using these opportunities, like silver got slammed today, okay? I see what you guys and girls are writing. You're very smart. Buy these freaking dips. I said recently, buy the dips in everything. If we realize this mechanism that's going to go on, well, it is. But I'll tell you something else real quick. Oh, you know what? That brings me to something else I wanted to talk about here. Here. This is Market Watch. It's talking about cracks in the stock market. Do you realize, and you probably do if you follow this blog, the S&P 500, the broader market, the NASDAQ too, has hit a couple of record highs here, a series of records. Since almost 3 weeks now, the S&P 500 has gone straight up. Don't you think we need a little bit of a pullback, which would be bullish as long as people, this continues? Do you see how easy this is? No guy on this planet, I don't think, could break this down easier for all of you. Not just my lions, but my friends too, who understand what is happening. And my economist friends, again, they're all going to tell you, every single one of them is going to tell you Greg's nailed it. And if they don't, maybe they got to go back to economics school. Anyway, with regard to commodities, as we just said, they are on sale. This is Market Watch yet again. I love these little things because I write on them. It just, look at I wrote, on sale. Along with cryptocurrency, let's talk about crypto too. So we know commodities are on sale because of the mechanism. Suppressed rates weaker currency. The Fed continued to inflate, and there is no way on this earth or off this earth that they're going to contract the money supply. They're going to balloon the money supply because the goal here is to bring us to our knees, to make us subservient to the system. You understand? Make us beg for one. We're going to get it. This neo-feudal system, we're leading up to a climax that's gonna rock the core of this freaking earth here. Thank you, Andres. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe that too. But anyway, so you get what's going on here? These are on sale. Now, with regard to cryptocurrencies here, let's talk about this. Love Trump or hate Trump, the guy has finally come around with regard to cryptocurrency, and he's getting millions of dollars in donations because people want to see him behind the Resolute desk. But he's calling himself the pro-Bitcoin president. Okay. Hats off to Donald Trump, in my opinion. You're entitled to your own. As a matter of fact, here, why Trump is getting only upside for his crypto reversal. Crypto entrepreneurs are saying this guy millions of dollars. Donald Trump is embracing crypto in his bid for the White House, and the crypto industry is hugging back. And he said Donald Trump is pro-Bitcoin. If Trump is selected, okay, wait till you see what happens to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, people. I think my crypto allies out here, and I hope that's all of you. I know some of you hate this stuff, and I don't understand why. I really don't. It took me a while to come around to it. It took Donald Trump a long time to come around, but he finally saw the light. These things, no matter what they're called, okay, are a way for you to make cash, pull it out of this market, and invest it in whatever you want to: gold, silver, platinum, palladium, crude oil, buy yourself a new car, new house, whatever it might be. Okay, I'm telling you right here and right now, the debt market meltdown, which is going to precede the meltdown of everything, is going to cause such a reaction in world stock markets. They're going to crater beyond anyone's wildest dreams. We don't even know where the bottom is, like I've told you a million times, but it's nowhere near it. The markets of the world could collapse 90%. Okay. That cash is going to go somewhere. It's going to go into commodities, in my opinion. Silver, my favorite asset of all time, gold. And of course, cryptocurrency. If Trump happens to be at the helm at that point, forget about where Bitcoin's going to go. He likes Bitcoin. Anyway. And again, I applaud him on that. Now I want to cover a few other things with you before we get to the warning here from Jamie Dimon. I don't even know what I wrote yet. How's this, for the economists out here, Mitch? Thanks again. So supply and demand. You're taught in school about the laws or the theory, more than likely, about the supply and demand. Don't work. Cordy, don't take my word for this, but home prices hit record high as sales crater. How does that work? It's currency devaluation, people, and we're going to see a lot more of that moving forward, no matter who is selected as president. Trump's already told us his stance on it. He wants a weaker dollar. Okay, you can expect the market to go much higher. You can expect corporate profits to probably take off, especially the ones that transact overseas. Very simple. This is so easy, this stuff, to understand. There's no mystery behind any of this, okay? And I told you, we're smarter than they are, so we can take advantage of this. So record high. Again, look, people can't survive anymore. I was writing a few of these down. It now takes at least two incomes, even just barely scrape by anymore. They can't even make it anymore. People are giving up. I'm reading what I wrote here because you probably can't read it. People are surrendering. They're being forced to throw their hands up, which is what they want, and be dependent on the current system, leading to the aftermath of this thing when it melts down. And again, going back to this taxless system, which we're probably going to get. Again, there's a lot of rumors about this stuff. There's a lot of rumors all the time. You got to kind of sift through this, but it makes sense. There's going to be some kind of a universal income, which is not going to be taxed, and people are going to surrender their liberties and freedoms to get it. You understand? We're going to an overlord serfdom society, a neo-feudal system. And these people at the bottom rung, they're going to serve their masters at any cost. Of course, no taxes. Hey, you don't have to pay tax as long as you obey your masters here. And here's some cash for you too. Be a good citizen. Yeah, be a good little servant. That's what's happening. It's a very scary phenomenon that we're witnessing here. That more and more people, and it's deliberate, are being forced to depend on the system. Okay, and they're willing. They are sitting there willing to live in a shotgun shack, that's fine, as long as they can be taken care of from cradle to grave. People have lost their competitive edge into being forced to surrender in the society. Society is decaying on every level, moral level, and everything else you can think about across the board. Again, this is also a twisting. We're looking at the commercials of the stuff that you and I and our children are forced to see on these commercials these days. It makes me want to vomit. Okay, the stuff that they're forcing upon us, and the whole mechanism behind it. Anyway, and the wording too. I was writing this down. It's easing. It's softening. It's unbelievable, but it's all leading to climax. The moth dog. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's where we're going here. This has been my theme for 10 years. Neo-feudal system, dependency on the system, servants, the masters, the overlords. Like I told you a million times, this three-tier society, the middle class being systematically erased. They can't cope anymore. And more people are falling to the lower rung of society, as you and I had expected from over 10 years ago, which we covered right here. The 1% and 2% couldn't be happier right now. Could not be happier. They're getting richer. They're gaining more power. And where's it coming from? Well, what used to be left of the middle class. So that's where we were going here. Neo-feudal system, a taxless system for those obviously on the lower rung who will receive some kind of basic income. The upper echelon, they're going to be laughing because they're going to be benefiting from all this stuff. Your currency devaluation, of course, because they don't look. You have to understand, the rich don't keep their assets in dollars. Understand that? Very little cash. You talk to a 1% and 2%, they're going to tell you they own things. It's not just a matter of have stacks of $100 bills laying around, which are systematically being decimated by central banks who are doing nothing but suck the purchasing power of their currency away. Henceforth, why record high home prices with sales that are falling through the floor and everything else. And then the lies about the deception about inflation here, the fight for inflation. There is no fight. Jeffrey knows exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. They can contract the money supply anytime they want, like this. Inflation to go away. No one's going to tell you that. No one running for president is going to tell you that. The brain dead thing creature sitting behind the Resolute desk doesn't know which way is up anyway. Uncle Fedster, love that. John Ross, thank you too. Thank you, everybody here. Anyway, let us move forward. Now let's wade through some of the propaganda. So this is interesting. U.S. business activity inches up in June, and price pressures are abating, which is completely false. You already know that. I wrote 100% propaganda. Business spending continues to fall. Business spending is a massive leading indicator. Businesses that are not spending on themselves to grow are dying. You understand? So business spending falling to the floor, manufacturing, factory activity, it's over. But propaganda like this is going to make some people believe that things are great because the market's at a record high. Now here on the same day, today, how's this? We just spoke about this. Leading economic index falls again. Oh, but it's not leading to recession. No, it's leading to depression. It's leading to destruction, to a neo-feudalism. Duh. I think we're all on the same page. Now, in case you were wondering, this is it. The LEI, the U.S. economic leading indicators, again, today, fell in May. Now, let's talk more about this here. The leading economic index provides an early indication of significant turning points in the business cycle. Well, guess what? We're falling yet again. But they want you to believe in what I just showed you. Where did I put that? That, business activity is doing just freaking great. You see? All in the same day. Make it up. Again, it's the propaganda. They think you're too stupid to know what's actually going on. Now, let me show you this too, real quick. This is a loving, caring budget. Congressional Budget Office here and their projection moving forward. This is from 2002 with regard to the economic outlook. How does this look? Do you see a downward swing here, especially where I circled? We're here now. Look what they're predicting, but they're telling us the polar opposite. They know where this is going here, okay? And they know this is not sustainable. They know that we're being brought to our knees by design. You understand that? Now, speaking of that, our lovely friend Jamie Dimon here issued a new warning. Jamie Dimon, this is today, warns of a U.S. debt crisis as the nation adds $2.1 trillion to its debt in 3 months. America's escalating public debt has reached 34.7 trillion, and experts like Diamond and Powell are alarmed. They're alarmed. Tell me again who's issuing the debt? It's Powell. Okay, let me explain something to you if you don't realize this already. First of all, Jamie Dimon isn't human either. But he has to cover his own rear end when he says something like this. Jerome Powell couldn't possibly be happier now. Every central bank has but one goal, and that is to one day own it all, to buy it all. And that's what they're doing now, this revolving door, issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door, inflating the money supply, creating inflation. That's what they're doing. This deconstruction of the system only to rebuild it in the way they want to. As we covered earlier today, this neo-feudal system, a tax-free system for the ones at the lower rung. Don't go down to that lower rung. I don't want you there. I want to see you up here. Thanks again, man. Andres, I appreciate that. Anyway, let us move forward here. So again, leading to the aftermath, we're in a full-blown crisis right now. You don't need Jamie Dimon, thing creature, also vomitous mass puke that he is, to tell you that we're in crisis, because we all know that, okay? And this crisis that we're in, no one's doing anything to fix it. It's just getting worse. And our loving caring representatives, again, congressional budget, they know it. Here's the proof. They know it. But you see, they don't want you to know that they know it. This stuff is all hidden in plain sight. I'll tell you this a million times. It's not too hard. This is what's eventually going to happen with regard to the debt market. And it's going to be a moment in time people aren't going to believe. Crisis which the entire system, this is it. I mean, the entire system is in crisis, including the banking system. I think I covered everything. So all of you out here who had those questions about why are commodities under pressure, why is crypto under pressure, do you understand the environment now? Again, Fed buying the debt, lowering risk, opens that doorway for cash to make its way into the stock market. We could be in for a pullback here, John. Thank you. What about the issues around all the currency? Forget about just the Japanese, because this is a worldwide event here. And nothing is independent of another thing. Nothing is by accident here. It's just, Japan's got a lot of problems, or we all have. No one has more problems than we do, okay, in case you think that we're better off or worse off than Japan is. This is a nightmare scenario. We're in full crisis, and no one wants to do a damn thing about it except devalue the currency, make the Federal Reserve stronger. This obvious move here into digital currency. That's another reason why Trump may be selected here. He's saying all the right things to be selected. Honestly, he's talking about currency devaluation. He's talking about the Fed keeping rates suppressed here. And the Fed does this by creating cash out of nothing, buying more debt, which is what they want to do. He's, moving his followers into believing in cryptocurrency, which I think is a good thing. Okay. But it's also a move to this tokenized digital full control system. So we'll see. We'll see who they choose. The guy there right now is the ultimate puppet. They can do anything they want because he has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know which way is up or down, backwards or sideways. Trump is a different story. He's a smart guy, but he's playing his cards right, in my opinion, to be selected, and he's not going to change. For those of you that think this is all rhetoric, it's not. Everyone has their role to play. He's playing his too. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at, people. I think we covered a lot here today. Probably more so than I usually cover with all of you. So with that said, and before we end here, because I've been getting complaints, you're right, I have not been answering questions as of late. I apologize for that. But if any of you right now want to throw some questions at me, I would appreciate that. You can pick. I would pick Trump over any Democrat, dude. Two wings of the same bird. If you think there's really a two-party system, it's a uniparty system, and they're putting you and I against each other. So you can pick whoever you want. Ain't gonna matter. Doesn't matter. Hasn't been mattered for a long time. You can think it does. That's what they want you to believe. It don't matter anymore. Your votes don't matter. Your say-so don't matter. We are moving quickly into the deconstruction of this system, into this neo-feudal system. So whatever you want. A giant meteor. You know what? Nothing would surprise me anyway. I know all about the Bilderberg Society. I've read about them. I know about them. I know what this whole thing is, where it's all going on here. Anyway. Buffett indicator. Let me tell you something about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is a guy who made his money and maybe not so up and on the square way on the way up here, honestly. Anyway, the guy's obviously a gazillionaire. He's one of the 1% and 2%ers. He knows where this is going to. He knows where this is going to. But, understanding all of this here, people, is, again, it's our power. It's our strength. Coming together, unifying ourselves, forgetting. Look, they're going to tell you who to hate. And they're going to tell you where to look. They're going to deceive you via any mechanism that they possibly can. Hate is a big one here. When you hate, where does hatred come from? Or when you have someone that's telling you who to hate and why to hate them, where does that come from? Is that somewhere in the light, or is that in the darkness? And you make your own mind up over there. I think it's pretty easy to understand. I know this video is kind of long and people are going to complain about it, but that's okay. Yeah, hate creates fear, and fear is the number one way that people have been psyoped since the beginning of time. Is all it is. Fear is a mind control mechanism that works 100% of the time. Once they can make you afraid, once they can tell you what you to be afraid. I don't care if they tell you to be afraid of this piece of reading glasses here, which I need now because I'm getting old. That's it. You're done. You're falling through the trapdoor, and they got you. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of it, people. Look, so it is Friday. All right, we covered a lot here. I really want to thank you for being here, for your love, your support. Those thumbs up. We got to do something about that. Let's work on it. Please share this stuff, people. Please comment. Tell me where. All right, look, as you're watching this video, we're going to end this real soon. I want you to think about what we've covered here. Ronix 446, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, Raceway Park. Oh, man, what a great place that was. Mitch, thanks again. I want you to think about the stuff we've covered here. Maybe watch the video twice. A lot of stuff we covered here. All right, what's going on here with commodities and the mechanism here, the deconstruction of the system, this new thing where we're going here. This is global. This isn't just a United States thing. Again, so those of you that want to blame the Democrats or Republicans, you're locked into the box they put you in here in the United States. They don't want you to think about what's going on the other side of the earth, because you must be kept in that box, unfortunately. Once you break out of that box, everything will become clear to you. You're going to have a wake-up moment. You're going to have an epiphany. Until that time, you're going to not know what's really happening, unfortunately. But I want you to comment. Greg, you got this wrong. Greg, you got this right. Look, I don't know everything here. I'm just kind of like the daddy, And I'm giving you what I'm saying when I'm saying straight from my heart, what I believe. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But at least ponder the things I say and then take action. What do you need to do about what's happening here? If we can't change where this is going to go, this neo-feudal system, central banks continue to inflate. Meanwhile, we're being sold the lie that they're trying to do something about it here. They want to stop inflation, contract the money supply. All my economists, would you agree with that? Yeah, I think so. What are they doing? They're inflating the money supply. So inflation is going to get worse. Expanding war, death, pain, suffering. You think we'd have all this if there weren't all this hatred in the world? Hatred, and this fuels more war or gives a reason for us to kill each other? And coming together. Now, with that, we're going to end this video. All right, so bring it in. It's Friday. All right, love each other, care about each other, be charitable people. This guy, and I mean this with all I got. I love you from the heart, deep in my heart. Okay, let's put this week behind us. Okay, I'll see you Sunday for my markets to look ahead. We'll put all this together again then, but I do want to hear from you. I want you to comment. I want you to tell me what you think's going on. If I'm wrong or I'm right, where I got it wrong. Look, I can learn something new. Okay, if you think I am way off base, I want to hear from you. All right, and if you think I'm on target, I want to hear from you too. All right, look, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday, as I said. Okay, I'm out of here.